Hello everyone and welcome to Corners of Speed Tier 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis and we're here in Monaco for the Monaco Grand Prix. And yes, you can see it correctly, we're racing in the night. So to make it even more special than it already is, extra challenge for the guys going out on track at the moment. Like I've mentioned before, Lewis is in the commentary box with me as always. How are you doing, mate?
Yo yo, what's up everybody? Yeah, all very good, thanks Thomas. Monaco again. I feel like we've done Monaco, I know we must have done Monaco, it feels like we've done it more recently than we have done. It's always the hardest track along with Singapore for keeping it on without hitting the walls. It's a blur, everything's just, don't hit a wall, or try not to hit a wall. And quality is so important around this track, more important than any other circuit. So a lot of people, I'm going to be interested to see setup wise. You tend to focus a little bit more. You can focus a bit more on qualifying than the race trim because you're not quick enough in the race. You can hold those guys back. It's going to be an interesting one, and see if there's any great overtakes. That's something we've got to try and look out for. If there's any overtake round here, it's pretty memorable.
Yeah, 100%. Maybe qualifying is going to be more important than the race, like you've mentioned. It's also finding a little bit of some clean air in front of you to put in a lap. That's always a challenge around here as well. We've got Hilly in the chat. He is currently enjoying his holiday. Hopefully you're having a lovely holiday, mate. Enjoy it for how long is left, but good to see you in the commentary box. But hopefully we will see you back on track next week. But yeah, currently on board with Dan. He just had his nap, like we've mentioned. So if he's a little bit rusty or if he is gonna pick up damage on his first hot lap, then we exactly know why. Through the casino section he goes. But it seems all good for now. 19 drivers for tonight, lovely number. And I can't wait for all the action to begin.
Yeah, if you have OCD for even numbers, look away now. I know there's a lot of people out there. It's always the same with volume on a car. A lot of people like have to put it on an even number. It's the same with this, but yeah, Dan is on a hot lap. I wonder how much fuel. He might have a bit of fuel, like he did in Austria. So it could be something where he wants to get a couple of laps under his belt. Got a yellow in second 1 and 2, but I don't think that's... Oh, we got an Aston Martin spun round. I don't know if it was Danny Boy or K-Mark, but he's not DNF. Dan's coming across the line. And it's a P4.
Lil Spark goes into P1 with 110.8. Let's see what Tuespo is doing. He comes across the line and it puts in a 110.5. 3 tenths quicker than Lil Spark. Good lap time from the Wizard.
Yeah, great time by Wizard. Early days still, and we are seeing bits of yellows, but it can be obviously drivers being slow. Oh, Charlie though isn't. He's out of turn. That's in between turn 1 and turn 2.
It's a really
and that's
weird
very weird
place. Yes.
Yeah.
We can see it now because I'm on board with Bama. And I think he lost it coming out of turn 1. Because it's his right front which is loose from the car. So he must have collided with the wall on the right hand side. But it's a weird incident.
Yeah, it is, and he's P4 currently, however, 1 minute 11 point dead, so at least he did get a time down. But it's going to be very frustrating for Charlie. Jamie James is on a hot lap currently. He is just approaching the tunnel.
Jamie James, he's been a consistent factor this whole season so far. Put in some really good qualifying performances, some really good race performances as well. Going through the bug now, and it's looking like quite a solid lap. And it's not gonna surprise me if he puts his car in provisional pole position. Only 2 more corners to negotiate through. Raskas he goes. Last corner with the pit on the right hand side on towards the finish line, and he puts in a 109.3, 1.2 seconds quicker than two spell in P2. That is setting a bar for yourself and for all the others.
Absolutely, a great lap time by Jamie James. So far, quite a lot of drivers yet to still set their first lap times. A lot are on an out lap now, including Danny Boy. Danny Boy's about to start his time lap.
Stumpy comes across the line and he puts it just behind his teammate. 8 thousandths of a second for Tichy. Has put his lap time in on soft, while Stumpy did it on medium, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Lil Spark, Bama and Stumpy all in the top 10 and all on mediums.
Yeah, and Cygate, I completely missed what you said, Thomas, but Cygate is also out. I don't know when he did that.
Yeah, it's good you mentioned that. I've missed that as well. I only saw
yeah.
Charlie. I can't even think about a message from Cygate popping up that he retired.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh,
it's not just me.
Yeah, really weird one, but at least he put in the time, although it's a 111.7. If people can't put a lap time in, or if people crash without putting a lap time in, he will at least start in front of them. That's the positive side.
Yeah, that's it. The Aston Martin of Danny Boy really unstable through the swimming pool section. Almost lost the back end, and you lose the back end around that section, it's pretty much good night. But he survived. Yeah, 1 minute 12. It didn't. The car just didn't look stable. It looks like it has no grip. Understeers in low speed corners and oversteer in the high speeds. So, and the problem is he can't change much on the setup other than the front wing, tyre pressures, and a little bit on the diff, that side of things. We are very limited now, but we are in Parc Fermé regulations.
Let's see, currently on board with Ira Shane. He is reserving for Emir Salt, and he puts his McLaren up into P10 with a 111.6 so far. And who is that? That is Profodes putting it up into P2 with a 110.3, but that is still a second slower than Jamie James. We saw that Canada, where Jamie James and Profodes were pretty much battling it out for the race win, where everyone else was at least 15 to 20 seconds behind. But I'm afraid that we're just gonna see a one-man show tonight in the form of Jamie James dominating the rest of the field.
Yep, that's it. So let's see who else. I mean, that's an awesome time from Jamie James to be a second ahead, but we've seen it before. He's been very good in quali, but then come the races, he has made errors. And at this track, you can't afford to make errors. So it's not, the domination in quali does not replicate necessarily the race. I know we've already done one tricky track this season in Baku, the opening, second race of the season. Some more yellows, but I think that's just slow cars. Little Spark, is he on a hot lap? No, he's on it in lap. K-Mark is on a hot lap, I believe. Oh, I might be wrong, actually, no, that's nothing. No, he looks like he's always going for it, actually, so maybe it's the second run he's doing. The 10th down on his previous best.
Mazza is putting in a lap time as well. Oh, and he hasn't set a lap time yet, but he collided with the wall. No invalidation as of yet. Hopefully for him, he didn't pick up any damage, because that is going to make those last couple of corners even harder. On towards the line, and he puts his car up into P7, a 111.0. So apart from the fact that he hit the wall, still a very decent lap time from Mazza, and that's definitely a good banking that he can work on.
Yeah, K-Mark unfortunately in the bus stop, he had the old rear end clipping the barrier, turning him around, so he is going to not be able to improve on his lap time. Just trying to stay out of the way. Always be careful there, don't carry too much speed.
Bama into the wall through the last corner. He clipped on the inside, which made him bounce into the wall on the outside. And that is definitely not the start of the lap time you hope for. And it seems like he's pushing, so that could mean that he didn't pick up any damage from it. But yeah, strange incident there for Bama. Oh, and yeah, he's given up on his lap time, yeah. Definitely not the start for Bama he would have hoped for. He went on to the softs this time. He put in a 111.0 on mediums. Wanted to go out on softs. That's not going to work. He has to come into the pits and put on a new set of softs.
Yeah, so we are getting in towards the main part now.
And here's Jimmy James, just went on board with him. And he improves by 3/10. And he improves to a 109.3. So the gap is 1.3 seconds again. And he has some mega pace around this track.
Yeah, he has got it hooked up in qualifying. Oh, we got
and here comes Marina. Hooks it up into P10, 111.2.
Yeah, I think I saw a Mercedes, or it was a Mercedes might have been off at the bus stop. It might have been through. He is on an in-lap. Trying to see who else is currently on a hot lap.
Is trying to improve on his 111.9 on mediums. So let's see what he can do. Through the casino section he goes. Clipping the apex nicely. Missing it a little bit before the hairpin. It's all good. I don't think this is gonna be an improvement for Dan. He's just not on the limit yet, and especially around this track, this is where you need to be on the limit. I understand that if you go a little bit over it, it's pretty much qualifying over. We saw with Charlie, we saw with Saigate. You need to push through qualifying if you want to have a good result in the race, because overtaking around here is almost impossible. And there goes Dan colliding with the wall. He's 2/10 down on his lap time. He did on the softs, so he's definitely not gonna qualify inside the 10 on those mediums. And he will have big pressure on his last soft run to make it work for today's qualifying session.
Yeah, Tichy is on a hot lap, and he's 2/10 up currently on the first sector alone. Currently in P11, and if he did gain 2/10, that would shoot him up. It would shoot him to around P5, P6. So close in that midfield again. So any major chunk of time that can be improved on will make a massive difference. Coming towards the bus stop now. Lovely. A little bit deep, but not too bad. Carried a lot of speed. Sector 2 about to be completed. He is half a second up now. Oh, he hits the wall. Oh, has he lost front wing? He may have lost front wing. I'm not sure. Has he lost all that time? Half a second it was. No, he's 4/10. Still enough to get up to P6. Good lap by Tichy.
Yeah, good lap, but still some potential in there. He still has some room for improvement on that 110.9. So if you can get the car back into the pits, put on a new set of softs and go again, I think he should be able to maybe even put it up in front of his brother Two-Spell.
Yeah.
Go on board with Massa through the Nova chicane, isn't it? Wait, is that me naming it wrong?
The Nova chicane? I think it's the bus stop.
So bus stop is Spa.
Well, that's a good point, actually. The Nouvelle chicane. You're right. Yeah, I think you're right. It is the Nouvelle chicane.
Get it.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, you're right. Monaco corner names. That's all that.
Yeah, I know quite a lot.
Yeah, Nouvelle. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, nice. Massa, he invalidated his previous lap, so he will be looking to get an improvement on his last lap. And there we can see K-Mark, he lost it in the casino section, and it is his qualifying over. He's stuck on a 110.9. Is that gonna keep him inside that top 10, or is he gonna drop out? He will be hoping to get dropped out because he will get a free choices tire, or maybe not, because around this track. Maybe you want track position. Let's see what Massa can do. Is he gonna overtake K-Mark? He's on a 1:11.0. He's got the Nova chicane to negotiate, which goes well through Tabak. And then before, oh, and he puts it up into the wall once again. Definitely lost his wing, and there is gonna be no improvement for Massa on this qualifying run.
Yeah, that's it. So, and he's not going to have time to fit. So that P10 is best, but there's so many people who will be improving. Everyone's out. I think Shane must have got. Well, Shane's really slow. So Shane's pitting, so he's not going to improve. Marina is currently on his outlap. So too is Stumpy. Stumpy's got to nail it. He ain't got much time left.
I'm on board with Lil Spark, and he is still inside of the 10 on those mediums. He's the only medium runner who is still inside that crucial top 10. Is he gonna gamble on those mediums, or is he gonna complete his lap? Oh, and there he goes through Tabak. He does exactly the same what Massa did previously, losing it through Tabak, hitting the outside wall, and that is wing damage, and that is your qualifying over.
Yeah, this is a very good time on those mediums. And so Shane's retired. Shane's had an off. Oh no, it's pits. He's been retired in the pits.
Yeah.
Tichy is on a hot lap, but he invalidates the noodle chicane. Let's see who else is out there. Wizard is on a hot lap. He's got Tichy ahead of him.
Ooh, it's getting really close between those two. Tichy.
Yeah, I think it's a slipstream.
Well, but it's not going to be enough for Tichy. He will get the flag. Or is he gonna? There's a finish flag behind his name, but
yeah, it's definitely finished because Tichy's got.
Yeah, but Two-Spell followed him, and he doesn't have a flag behind his name.
Maybe not, then.
I don't think it's finished yet. Let's go on board
Damage goes at P3.
Ben, let's see, he comes across the line and he improves to P12. He can go again. Blaze as well. Blaze is on for an improvement. Let's see what he can do through sector 2. Is he still improving? Yes, he is, but almost a 10th. That is gonna bring him maybe inside that crucial top 10. Is Blaze gonna do it? He needs to have a really good sector 3. Oh, he almost lost it. Coming out of Raskas. But now on towards the line. Is it gonna be an improvement for the Williams? Yes, it is. Up to P7, and now we can see the finish flags.
Yeah, right. So the only one's Dan is 2/10 down. I think he's the only one on Bama. Bama's the other one as well. Bama's on a slow lap though.
Yeah, Bama just improved, so I think this is
Marina
qualifying over already, apart from Dan, but Dan is not gonna improve. He's 1.5 tenths down through sector 2, unless he's got a mega sector 3. This is not gonna be an improvement.
No, I don't think he is gonna improve.
Nope. So that means this is it for today's qualifying session, with Jimmy James dominating this qualifying. 9 tenths clear of Profolis in P2, with Bama in P3, Two-Spell P4, Electric Brake really well done as a reserve to put it up into P5, and crucially Lil Spark on those mediums up into P9. Oh, by the way, yeah, quick mention, sorry. If you guys are wondering what is wrong with my voice, or if you're noticing me muting my mic, that's because my throat is almost killing me. So I'm doing my best to make it work for tonight. So if you're wondering what is going on, that's exactly why.
I had no idea. You're pulling off so well.
So here we have
I'm
it.
being sarcastic.
Here we have it, today's grid. we've got Jimmy James on pole position, Profotis P2, Bomber P3, Two Spell P4, Electric Blade P5, Marina P6, Blaze P7, Denny P8, Lil Spark P9, and K-Mark rounds off the top 10. Tichy P11, then P12, Monster P13, Charlie P14, Stumpy P15, Shane P16, Psyche P17, Mania P18, and Max P19. So we're waiting now for everyone to select their optimal strategy. It's going to be really interesting to see what the guys outside of the top 10 are going to do. Are they going to gamble on those hearts, trying to go a long way, a long distance into this race to at the end have much more grip? But is it worth it around here? That's going to be the big question. No rain expected, so these guys don't have to worry by having to pit for inters or even wets. It will be dry for the full race.
Yeah, so obviously the top 10, one of them, Little Spark, has got a medium, not deliberate. He did put the soft on in his final run, but unfortunately hit the wall. So he's going to be on that alternate strategy to the rest. It's a tricky one, really, because yeah, he's going to have all that speed, but the second half of the race, but overtaking, as I mentioned right at the beginning, is just so tricky that you end up getting desperate and having to force into desperate moves. But it's 39 laps, one stop at easy. The soft doesn't last obviously anywhere near as long as the other two. The medium and hards are actually, well, the medium tire is a very good tire. The hard will last forever.
Yeah, but it's I've spoken to well, I know the Fruitful had a race a couple of days or a week ago, I can't remember, and he gambled on hitting on lap 1, going on to the hards, and then just gaining on pure race pace. So maybe if maybe the likes of Tichy, because he hasn't been able to put in his best qualifying lap whatsoever. Maybe he thinks that he is so much quicker than the guys ahead of him. Because normally, Blaze is normally not up into P7, let's be honest. No offense to Blaze, but he is surprising us tonight. Maybe Tichy is thinking like, I'm quicker than Blaze. Bit early, and go for the hards and try to finish up until the end. The only problem is, we know how often a safety comes out on this game. I've heard some rumors that the safety car is a little bit glitchy around this track, so maybe we don't see it that often. But if it comes out like we've seen the previous weeks, then that strategy is definitely not going to work, because we will at least get 2 or 3 safety cars. But if it is glitchy and we're not going to see any safety cars, then maybe pitting really early in this race and going very long on either the mediums or the hards could be the way to go.
Well, we're going to find out very shortly, that's for sure. Could we get, let's put a bet on safety car in the first lap?
That could definitely be an option. You never know.
And are we going to pick 3 safety cars? I'm going to go with 3 safety cars, 1 virtual, and the safety car lap 1.
Fair enough. I think we have to wait a little bit for the first safety car. We will definitely get 1, and I think, in fact, we're gonna get 2 safety cars. But for now, we're gonna focus on the race start. 5 red lights is waiting for Jimmy James on when he is gonna go. We've got a glitchy 2-spell, but it's all good, and away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's a really good start from Jimmy James, a really good start from Bomber as well. We'll put his car up on the inside of Profotis, but Profotis stays in front. No, he doesn't. It's side by side up towards Casino, but Bomber gets in front, so Profotis loses a place from the start. Electric Blade is up into P4, and 2-spell loses a lot of position. He drops down all the way to P7 as he is battling with Denny. In fact, he's inside Denny. Never expected to say something like that during a Formula 1 commentary, but it is Codemasters for you. They're still inside each other. Oh, and there's drama at the hairpin. It is Saige running into the back of Charlie. Lil Spark had to avoid a collision, and he dropped down all the way to P13, and he lost his complete front wing. So that is definitely a pit stop already for Lil Spark. He had a brilliant strategy on those mediums inside of the 10, but it's all gone out of the window now with that wing damage.
Yeah, but you just have to go on the hards now, unfortunately, and try and hope. But there hasn't been a safety car so far. It looks like we might actually get it past this opening lap. Really good, well thought by everyone, being careful, because it's so easy for you to get caught out and hit the back of someone else. There's a few people pitting already, looks like.
Yeah, it is Lil Spark, Danny and Saige all in the pits. So they will have a very long race ahead of them, but that's like what I mentioned. It's not over yet with the amount of safety cars we normally get around this game. And definitely not because it's Monaco. You have to go on because there is always something going to happen around this track. You already spread out a bit, especially at the front. All of the gaps are at least 1 second. The first very close battle is between P5 and P6 with Marina and Two-Spell. But yeah, here comes the tricky part about Monaco. Where are you going to make your move?
That's it, that's the other side of it. And there's a big gap because there's a driver with big wing damage, and that's Charlie. Charlie's got quite bad wing damage on his front tyre, front wing, front left. And he is holding up these guys massively. And that is why they're not able to get past.
Oh, Blaze into the pits.
Must have had wing damage.
Must
And
be
we have
wing damage for him. Yeah.
And Charlie also in.
Let's see. Yeah, Blaze had wing damage 23% on the left hand side. It's 10% damage for Hesmania. It's 11% for Bama on the right hand side and 6% for Profotus on the left. So did they make contact and did they both pick up wing damage because of it? That could be the case, as Profotus has it on the left hand side and Bama on the right hand side.
Yeah, that's a very good point. It could be a little bit of contact initially. It'll be very, hardly noticeable. Particularly around here, you can. A lot of the corners are slow. Wing doesn't really make much difference. It's only really around the swimming pool section we're coming to now where you'll feel it more so with losing the front wing.
And see, this is allowing Electric Blade to get closer and closer to the back of Profotus, and Hesmania is still holding back a few guys. We've got Stumpy and Shane following him very closely with that wing damage on the left hand side. Marina is holding up Two-Spell and K-Mark as they exit turn 1 on towards Casino. We've got 62 people watching because we've been raided by Misfits RL. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All the support is very welcome.
Thank you very much. Marina currently in P5, closely monitoring behind Electric Blade. Roland losing touch now. Bama's about just under a second slower than what Jammy James. Jammy is on fire around here at the moment. Still very early days. We got our first penalty. K-Mark has got 3 seconds, multiple warnings.
Yep, he cut the Nova chicane, and that's his third warning already after 4 laps of racing. Two-Spell is having some really bad connection issues, and I thought he was running wide, but that's just his connection. Oh mate, it's not even for the people out on track, but also commentating wise, it's terrible.
Yeah, because you think for a moment he makes a mistake, or he has, you don't know. It's, gotta love that desync. He's got K-Mark right behind him, and there's a bit of a gap to the first medium runner, which is Dan. So Dan is doing a great job in P8. He kept it out of the walls, and he's got Titchy behind him, who's also on mediums. So it's kind of a group of two fields at the moment. The ones who started on the softs, and the guys who started on those mediums. And those guys who started on the mediums, will have far less degradation, and when they do go to pit, so the only thing is, obviously, is as long as the safety car isn't early, then it will work for the medium runners. As Kmart gets another penalty inside two, that's amazing. Muzzle now gets penalty as well.
Ooh, and here comes Shane, who goes for an overtake through the tunnel. But he gets the job done. Stampy got past before the hairpin, and that is because Hasmania has no front wing left whatsoever. And Shane said, thank you very much. I'm gonna have that position, and he can close back to Stampy again. The gap now is 2.3 seconds, and Hasmania has to box for a new front wing.
I think there must have been a misdemeanor. I think Kmart must have passed Two Spell through, like cutting the bus stop again, because he let Two Spell through at Raskas. So the Aston has the. Oh, he's at the back of Two Spell. I'm sure of it. But it's not enough to cause it. Oh, it's a ghost. I think it's just a ghost. Because they're level with each other right now.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
It's not what you want to see. It's purely because of Two Spell's connection. Because we saw it with Danny Boy as well. And Kmart picks up another penalty. Yeah. That is 9 seconds already after 6 laps. Yeah.
He's done it 3 laps in a row.
Exactly.
That's mental.
Well, at least he is very close as we get a lovely helicopter view. Oh! Lovely helicopter view, but we can also see Marina going into the wall at Raskas. He did what Schumacher did during qualifying, and Kmart gained 2 positions in 2 corners, so he picked up 2 penalties in 2 laps, but he also gained 2 positions.
And look at his Two Spell is going on to hard, so he's doing the early stop. He didn't have any wing damage. I was about to say, I wonder if Marina had a bit of wing damage already, because he was holding them all up. And I think Two Spell has decided he wants that clear air. The only thing is, he hasn't really got that much clear air around. He is ahead of Danny Boy, who had a bit early because of wing damage. But he is about 3.5 seconds behind Shane. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Shane is on 6 lap old mediums. But he's already starting to make inroads. So it'll work for Two Spell as long as he's got the clear air.
This is pretty much the first time that I can remember that we literally have no car inside or within a second of each other. Literally no one.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's Monaco, but still. Here we've got some action. We've got Profodes into the pits. He is putting on the... If I can get a better camera angle. The medium, so he had a front wing change and he put us on the mediums. Electric Plate opted to go for the hards. No front wing change for him, so he jumped Profodes in the pits. Going on hards, interesting call.
And look at this, already Two Spell has got ahead of Roland, obviously because of his wing change. But Two Spell is only 2.5 seconds behind Electric Blade, and this is the situation now. Those soft runners are starting to lose a lot of performance. The tyre, putting new tyres on does make a big difference around here, particularly if you're getting held up. So Two Spell ahead of Roland. But yeah, on the medium, I'm very surprised about that, because it's going to have to really... Well, it's 20 or 30 laps, 30 plus laps that he's going to have to hold on here. Shane gets 3 seconds.
And we saw how much time Kmart gained after he got past Two Spell. I think Danny Boy at this point wants to do exactly the same. The same goes on for Profodes. We know Profodes has got the pace. He's quicker than these guys in front, but how long is it going to take before he can actually make a move and pass them? The thing is, Danny Boy, he will get DRS from Two Spell in front, so it will be even harder for Profodes to make a move on Danny Boy, let alone making a move on Two Spell. He will have to wait for Danny Boy to make a move on Two Spell before he can make his move, unless Danny Boy makes a mistake. We've got Massa into the pits. He opted to go for hards as well. That is allowing Marina to get past as he went really deep into turn 1. Is that Sandevaux? think it is.
Turn 1 Sandovo, yeah.
Yeah, but it's all good. No wing damage for the Alpine, and he can continue his way. I can see that Ricky's in the chat as well. Ricky, I've been thinking about your comment. Sorry, something happened.
That's alright. It's just made a good move on the inside in Sandovo of Max. It's always a bit of a close one around there, but no contact. It's a good move.
Okay, really good. Yeah, Ricky, I see you in the chat. I've been thinking about your comment about having too much on screen apart from the gameplay itself. So hopefully it's all good. Hopefully it's not too busy. Let me know what you think. As we're still watching Profotis trying to get away past Danny Boy in front. He is having a look left, right and center. Oh, and then he made a mistake through the swimming pool section. Is Profotis gonna go for a move around the outside of Raskas? That's almost impossible, and yes it is. But he is putting the full pressure on Danny Boy as he almost lost it himself. And he has to close back in once again.
That was close. That was so close there. But thankfully able to hold, just because it's slow enough, he was able to put the anchors on and stop him from going into the wall. Lives to fight another day, but he's definitely got the speed advantage. I guess it's a little bit quicker around here, but also those 7 laps fresher or 6 laps fresher tyre making all the difference. 2-spell on those hards, it shows you the difference here, because 2-spell is slowly catching up on Electric Blade, but initially those mediums really do have an advantage. He's doing well so far. He's keeping the gap over a second over Danny Boy. Dan, look at that. Dan P4 minding his own business. He's got a comfortable gap to himself and Stumpy.
Ooh, for Fodes. And we saw that coming because he was struggling the lap before. And he has been short shifting almost for every single corner. He's struggling on traction. And coming out of the swimming pool section, he just completely lost it on the braking. And it is a 6-second gap now. Did he pick up any wing damage? No, he's clean from any damage. So he got away with that one. But those mediums won't be feeling too good after that little spin.
Yeah, lucky boy again. Now he's got the gap. He's still got comfortable gaps between himself. Kmart gets another penalty. So he's now on 12 seconds. So that is not good for Kmart. Kmart comfortably out of the podium positions. Dan is actually, if we look, Dan is actually now starting to close in. So those softs must be getting pretty close now. It's the gap. Yeah, Dan is slowly starting to catch it. And in fact, Kmark is pitted. Kmark is now in the pits. He's putting mediums on.
I went on board with Shane at exactly the right moment. It was as he's doing some gymkhana through the last sector. Kmark is pitted for mediums, and Shane is trying to put the pressure on Stumpy, but he is just struggling for traction.
He's going to get just ahead of 2-spell. And he's on the medium as well, importantly. So, Kmark, he's got to get past Electric Blade, but he is on the faster tyre. But a lot of these guys I've noticed are currently under fuel, and I know around here your fuel does go down. So a few of these guys are going to be relying on safety cars to save them.
Yeah, 100%. I think Danny is, or Dan I should say, is praying for safety car to come out at this point, because then he can just pit for hards and get his way through the end. Because I think a lot of guys, when this safety car comes out now, will make another stop to either fix their wing damage or make that extra stop. And he will come out in front. Bama has decided to pit. He's changing in front wing as well. He picked up damage on lap 1. And we're not sure how he got that damage, we assume.
Ooh, Blade hit the wall! Electric Blade hit the wall in the final turn, and that has allowed Kmark through. That was an error on Blade's path, but Kmark was really lucky not to get caught up in that. So that's perfect for Kmark now. He's got a 2.6 second gap to catch up on Shane. He's done a lot more laps on those mediums. Oh, it's a wall! Come on, it's non-stop, this race. Monaco for you.
Yeah, Bama, he made his pit stop. He changed his front wing as well, and he rejoined behind this train formed by Electric Blade. Gamer got past, as you guys heard. And now it's the turn for Toespel to make a move on the Haas in front.
Jamie's pitted. He's going to still come out in P1, such the dominance.
Comfortably as well, no pressure whatsoever on Jamie James. The only thing he needs to concentrate on is not making a mistake.
Yeah.
No pressure whatsoever for 14 laps already.
Yeah. And there's a whole pit stop behind. All the yellows.
Gate with a 3-second time penalty.
Little Sparks had a crash. Little Spark, that's why we got the yellow. Little Spark outside.
Oh, and he DNF'd.
Yeah. No safety car.
Yeah, this is what I mentioned on the formation lap. Apparently the safety car is glitched around this track. Which, well, rather on this track than anywhere else, to be brutally honest. So we've got yellow through the bug, but there's no one who's crashed into the bug. Maybe that's still from Lil Spark. Shane went deep into bug and he's been put under pressure by K-Mark now. We saw Blade making a mistake because of the pressure from K-Mark, as K-Mark hit the wall himself.
Oh, look at his
bow.
bow.
Gonna do the same.
Bammer, look at his bow. Danny, you've got Electric Blade, Toespel, Danny Boy and Roland, and Bammer. And they're all lining up, they're all getting held up massive by Electric Blade, because Electric Blade must have wing damage. Surely he has wing damage.
Let's check the test system. Yeah, 16% on the right hand side.
Oh, Roland, look, and this is the thing, they're all getting desperate, because they're getting held up so badly. Toespel is going to have to dive bomb it. It's so tricky to do it when it's downhill braking into this turn. Really, it's going to be the Nouvelle. Yeah, a good run, but he's on the hard tyre as well. That's the problem. He hasn't got the traction advantage over Blade. So Blade's going to pull away and use up all his ERS strategically.
Ooh, yellow. Oh, that is Shane or Max in trouble. But it's all good. They can continue their way as we're watching this beautiful train behind Electric Blade. And this is Monaco. Even with wing damage, you can still... Oh! Danny Boy and Toespel. Danny Boy round the outside as we're still side by side, but he gets it on exit. Oh, we're still side by side.
This could end. Oh, he tries to break late. Oh, he's going to squeeze him out into the wall.
Yeah, this was gonna happen. You saw this coming from a mile away. This couldn't end well. Toespel, he pushes Danny wide. Danny was still there. He went to the left hand side and he sort of ruined his own race. So that means Danny Boy now is out of the train. Toespel as well, and Profolis is now the one who is gonna make a move on on an Electric Blade. Sorry.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's it. You did it exactly right there. I felt same sort of thing. He tried squeezing him out, but you can't. Oh, Max has been off. Max has been off, approaching the Nouvelle chicane. And again, no VSC or safety car.
DNF.
Oh, Electric Blade has no grip in these fast corners. He is literally a sitting duck.
If I was Profolis, I would wait for after Tabak to maybe try and see if you can put the pressure on him through the swing possession, because you know he can't go as quick as you normally would through the swing possession. So maybe get as close as possible and then go for a move into Raskas, but he's going on towards Casino and Electric Blade squeezes him and Roland just about saves it. But that was
Surely
very
now
close between those
he's
two.
gonna get it
But
now.
now with the switchback down the inside, this should be job done. This is job done, really well done from
Yeah.
Profodes. He lined up the move, got the job done. Profodes up into P6, and now he needs to pull away from Bama as quickly as possible.
It's the only track where you'd ever try and carry on going with wing damage. That's how hard it is to overtake around here. Ultimately, it's still so early in the race, I would just pit. Get it. Especially with his wing damage, he's going to lose seconds. Like, literally, visibly, he's going to be losing 4 seconds a lap. He's already 1.5 seconds behind, and especially around this sector here, he's just losing so much electric.
Yeah. And he picks up 3 seconds
he
because
can't
he just tries to be as quick as possible, and he loses in Axe. Bama gets past. Profodes is probably thinking, no way he got past the same lap as I did. But Bama did a really good job. As Blade, yeah, he pit because there's no one really close to him. He can pit now for fresh mediums, change his front wing, and have a go, because this race is definitely not over yet.
Danny Boy has bad wing damage, so he's going to be pitting this lap. And also has Mania as well.
And we've got a battle for the last podium spot between Stumpy and K-Mark. And Shane, to be fair to him, is only 1.3 seconds behind, so he's still got a shot on the podium as well. Doing a really good job, the EU4 driver.
Yeah, Stumpy's starting to slightly catch Dan up now. Gap was 5 seconds, now 3.7.
Yeah, it's probably because Stumpy feels the pressure from K-Mark behind, so he's pushing himself. We've got a Mercedes going to the pits, that is Saigate. Must have picked up some damage and is replacing his front wing.
Tichy said as fast as that.
K-Mark, he has been within half a second for pretty much the whole lap, but there's just no way he can get past Stumpy, who is making his Alfa Romeo as big as possible.
So, what is the strategy? Guys who are on the medium, I guess, is it medium to hard?
No, they will just try to hold on until the short period.
Right.
And then go on to the more grip tire towards the end. But how much is it gonna benefit you as K-Mark hits the wall through the tunnel? Like, that's the special part about this track. You can go for the softs and have much more grip than the car in front, but that doesn't mean you're gonna overtake him, and that makes this track beautiful, but it also makes it very frustrating. Shane picks up 3 seconds for multiple warnings.
Yeah, Stumpy under pressure from those K-Mark. Shane also on the yet to have stopped. They're all the same thing as K-Mark gets another 3 seconds. Oh!
What did he
K-Mark
do?
gets 3 seconds and hits the wall. Massively hits the wall. And he is wall riding now.
Oh, and
They got
Blaze
no
is out as
wing.
well. No, he's not. He's still driving, but he lost his front wing as well. So 2 guys losing their front wing on the same lap. 2 more front wings needed.
Yeah.
There's so much debris on track already. Like, it's insane. Those marshals are having a busy evening.
K-Mark just holding on, but unfortunately K-Mark is going to be careful not to hit the wall here. No, he doesn't. But he can't stop the car. He has to be careful not to get in the way of Roland. Oh, he does. Roland has to back out of it there. That's a bit dangerous because he was technically off the track and he rejoined in a dangerous position. Roland's just got to be careful here. He's going to be frustrated. Bama must have wing damage as well, by the way. I think because Bama's lost loads of time to Roland. And finally, K-Mark doesn't block it, but that was a bit dodgy for K-Mark.
I can't see it on screen, the damage for Bama, but he's definitely got damage, 15% on both sides. So,
Yeah, because he wasn't that far behind before.
Made a mistake. It's now damage of Blake. He pitted for a new front wing, and he picked up damage once again. He's got 6% on the right hand side. We've got damage for Shaige, we've got damage from Mazza, for Bama, and for Shane. The rest of the guys are all clean, and they still got their full front wing.
3 seconds has.
Yeah, Asmania is feeling the pressure from Tichy behind, because Tichy is all over the back of that Alpha Tauri. He's having a little look on the inside. We've got the glitch now, no helmets for the Alfa Romeo guys. Oh, and here comes Tichy. No, things better a bit.
Oh, Stumpy hits. Stumpy does a Leclerc. Hits his rear tyre hits the back of Ruskas, and now Shane is all over the back of him. I don't know if he got any damage from it. None of the front end didn't hit the wall.
No damage for Stumpy on his front wing, so that's all good.
But yeah, that's given Dan a bit more of a gap now between himself and Stumpy. This is such a tough race, this one. You cannot afford to miss your racing line. In other tracks you can, but not here. There is no runoff, it is just wall.
Thibaut, to answer your question, we've got if I'm not mistaken, but correct me if I'm wrong, we've got a 5-second time penalty for entering the pits incorrectly. We've got a 20-second time penalty for dangerously, or for creating a dangerous situation, but we don't have any specific rules for entering the pits around this track like we had for Austria last week. So hopefully that is the answer to your question. Ooh, Stumpy into this. Yeah, but he still had to make a stop. So yeah, this is just his mandatory pit stop.
Yeah. So I guess this is the stop. No, it's the hards. Wow, I didn't. Okay. I mean, this is what I was thinking, like those medium runners, but it's. I mean, it's. If you're going to do it, you're probably better off going on the hards earlier than lap 23 of 39. We're past half distance. Oh, and he's battling out with Bama. Bama gets ahead of him. And he's going to be frustrated with that because he's going to realise Bama's got no front end. Yeah, Bama has no front end on that car whatsoever. So Stumpy's going to be frustrated. If he hadn't hit that wall at Raskas, he would have been ahead of Bama.
And K-Mark is behind Tuspel again. Who himself is stuck behind Mazza, so we've got another train again. One train stops.
And K-Mark's on the softs.
Oh, look at K-Mark down the inside. No. Oh, yeah, this was gonna happen. Tuspel with his second incident, and well, it's definitely less his fault than the last one. But still a glitch, and K-Mark cuts the chicane, gets in front. K-Mark is not happy, but don't do this, mate, because this is not gonna help your race. K-Mark, if he's not careful, he will get disqualified because of the amount of penalties he picks up.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those where K-Mark was there, but he wasn't far along enough side. It's a tricky. He could have just saved it for making the move into the bus stop. Tuspel at the same time could have given him more room. Like, he was always going to come in there. He was squeezing him.
Yeah, but let's be honest.
I think it's race.
Through the tunnel, is that a place where you can overtake? Not really, is it?
Nah, I mean, you have to be alongside, and he wasn't far enough alongside. I get why he did it, because he had the traction, and this is the thing around this track. You end up making these desperate moves, but it's got to be a calculated risk. K-Mark's left the session, although his car is on track.
Yeah, he retired in the pits, but his car is still driving. But his behavior today were questionable anyway, to put it in that way. It's crazy. We move. Stumpy is 5/10 behind Bama. He pitted for fresh hards. Bama is still on used mediums, but where is Stumpy gonna go for a move? It's definitely not going into Sendai-Vo. K-Mark his car finally stopped the end or the beginning of sector 2, I should say. Stumpy's teammate Tichy had a little bit of an incident through the Nova chicane, but it's all good. He could continue his way. And we've got Mazza going into the pits. In fact, he is coming out of the pits. He pitted for a fresh set of medium tires and he's rejoining in P9 with a Danny Boy and a left replay 4.8 seconds in front of him.
Dan had a little bit of a moment. Just survived it. No, I don't think he's got any damage, but Shane is starting. Oh, Shane's letting Roland through. So I don't know what's happened there, but Shane backed out and let Roland through. So Roland up into P3 now.
Yeah, Shane let who was it? He let someone else go through as well. So I don't know what his game plan is. Maybe he just can't handle the pressure or something from someone really close behind him and all those walls coming at you. Maybe he just wants to drive his own race, but if there's one track where you can easily defend your position, it should be this one. But yeah, maybe if he finishes on the podium, we can ask it himself. He's definitely got a really comfortable gap behind him, 20.7 seconds with only 13 more laps to go. He should be able to get the job done and finish at least P4, although he picked up some penalties, so maybe Brahma, if he can close the gap, will get him on penalties.
That's right, lap 27.39. Coming towards the final third. Well, we are in the final third now of this race. Yeah, Shane's got front wing damage, I think. Shane's way off the pace. And Roland is killing it at the moment. He is eaten into Dan's lead massively, and considering Roland's laps, he's done 19 laps on those mediums.
Oh!
And a spin. Oh.
Bama, he made a mistake, and now Stumpy and Bama are once again inside each other. We've got cars once again inside each other. These guys are inside each other for the first time, and Stumpy gets in front. Bama made a mistake. He clipped Raskas, or at least the wall on the final corner with his left rear tire, and that forced him almost to spin. Kept it on track, but it allowed Stumpy to get past, so that is Stumpy now finally with some clean air in front of him.
Yeah.
And he has a 20.1 second gap to close down to Shane in front. But with the damage of Shane and Stumpy on fresh hards, he should be able to close in quite a bit. Then goes into the pits, so that is Roland now up into P2.
Yeah, that's it. It's Stumpy, yeah, like I say, it's a massive difference. You just can't hit them now straight away now, he's in clear air.
Ooh, and look at this, Shane is
yeah,
into the pits together with Dan. So Dan will remain in P3 on fresh softs. If nothing bad is going to happen, we will have Dan on the podium.
Woohoo! Well, he's just got to keep on the island. He has the best tyres for it, and a healthy lead, 7 seconds. Thanks to Stumpy being held up, he's got a, Stumpy didn't get the undercut on him. I think that was the crucial thing, because he chose, it was a bit of a risky one, that, because Stumpy did the undercut on the hards, hoping to get ahead of Dan, but falling just behind Bama, really did cost him in the end.
Yeah, 100%. So we've got Danny Boy and Mazza really close on track. 3 tenths is the gap between the Aston Martin and the Red Bull. How cool and collective is Mazza, and can he get away past Danny Boy 27, 27, 27 in front? I just had to say it one time.
Yeah, Jamie James is 29 seconds clear. We are now 10 to go. Approaching 10 to go. 7.5 laps to go.
Yeah, big respect. Oh, Mazza hit the wall before the Nova chicane coming out of the tunnel. Did he pick up wing damage because of it? Well, he's got 10% on the right hand side, and Danny Boy clipped the wall as well. 20% on the right hand side for the Aston Martin, and you saw him going very slowly through the swimming pool section. This is allowing Bama to close it back in as well. So we've got a train of Danny Boy, Mazza and Bama now for P7 in this race.
Here we go, that DRS.
Oh, Danny Boy went deep. Mazza had to brake, and Bama picks up wing damage once again.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny Boy must have.
Mazza
must have. I think Mazza's got bad wing damage.
Yeah, 31% on the left hand side, 46.
Oh no! No,
and
not anymore. That's 100.
That's his full front wing gone now.
You don't need TAS for that. That's 100. And now look at this. 2-spell is actually going to end up gaining places here. Oh, I love this. Watching this race, Monaco is always crazy. But you can have so many drawbacks in this race, setbacks, and still get points.
Yeah, Tuspel's the prime example. He lost his wing twice this race because of incidents. And look where he is now. He's actually going to take P7 in this race if everything goes his way.
Oh, look at the Mercedes, Bama.
Bama.
Oh my god.
Still side by side. Yeah. Oh, what
wow, that's brave.
Days, that was a move and a half.
Yeah, I think he's going to screw it. Even Charlie now is back in the frame. You've got Danny Boy and Bama hitting. Freeze 2-spell. And look at that, Charlie now P8.
Charlie, getting a brilliant P8 for... He's doing a really good job as well. He will be happy with that one. And Shane closed in to the back of Stumpy. And it will be very crucial, not only for Stumpy, but also for Dan, that Stumpy keeps him behind. Because I think with those fresh shots of Shane, he will have the pace to close in to Dan in front. If Stumpy can hold back Shane, then there is definitely no way for Shane to get anywhere close to the podium. In fact, he has a penalty as well, so I don't think it would have worked anyway. But you never know.
Yeah. Right, I think. Let's see where else. Did she just pit again? Oh, has crashed. Has done a big off.
Yep. If we stay on board with these two guys, we can actually see what happened, or sort of predict what has happened with Tasmania. Over the bump, and that is both his front tires actually gone. So that's been a very interesting collision. Oh, Nova chicane drama. Is that Mazza? It is Mazza.
Yes. With more wing damage.
Yeah, left hand side. Mazza's not having his best race.
Bama's retired. Bama's
in the pits.
Is it in the pits?
Why? Because you were still in P10. I understand the frustration because he had to pit 3 times already for a new front wing, but you were in a point-paying position.
Maybe he had wing damage already. Maybe that was his thing. He has to be. That means that it's all falling apart now. So, for so long we had no retirements. Now in the space of that, we've got 2 happen. So that puts Tichy now P12, P11 because he's just got past Mazza in the pits. So Tichy is 21 seconds from points.
Matty in the city says, can we put on increased safety cars? Well, this is probably the only time I'm gonna say it on this game. I wish that we had a safety car now, because the gaps are immense between all the drivers.
Battle though for P4, Stumpy and Shane.
Yeah.
Shane is on softs.
Yeah, I'm watching it, but Shane is just struggling to get past Stumpy, because Stumpy is defending brilliantly. He's just covering off all the overtaking possibilities, and Shane just can't get a good enough traction exit off the corners to get past Stumpy to make the difference in tyre work.
Shades of Senna Mansell.
Yeah. Exactly, but hopefully for Stumpy he should be able to stay on his legs.
So close though, he has the DRS as well. around the
around the
outside.
outside.
That's not going to work.
It is
He
gonna
already
work.
has. Lovely.
Yes. Love that from Shane. Really well done. How many penalties does Shane have? He has 9 seconds. Is he able to pull away 9 seconds in 6 lap time? Tricky one. That means that he needs to gain 1.5 seconds each lap.
I mean, he's already nearly 1.5 ahead already. Is Stumpy got front wing damage?
Let's have a look at the test system. No wing damage for Stumpy.
Right, it's just the fact he's on hard tyres.
Yeah, but he pitted for those hards pretty early on in this race. And
they're 10 laps old, those hards.
yeah, they're 10 laps old. And Shane pitted later and he is on softs, so that makes a big difference.
So it could be possible. He's already over 2 seconds clear. It's like he's in a different league.
Yeah.
Obviously, those softs will lose their performance advantage from each lap. We are about to approach start of lap 35 out of 39.
Ricky in the excuse me, Ricky in the chat, he put in the comment, James should box for softs and get an extra point for fastest lap, and I think I would have done exactly the same, just pit for fresh shots. You've got nothing to lose. You've got a 27-second gap behind. You will pull away anyway on those fresh shots compared to Profotis, his tires, and should be able to get that extra point. Why not?
I suppose the only other argument is why try and risk a race win for going fastest lap, but I suppose you can go soft tyre, you don't have to push hard, you'll get fast.
Yeah, but if you're this confident, I don't think you're gonna make that mistake anyway.
It's Monaco, but yeah, you don't even have to go on the limit. You can just set a normal time, comfortable pace on that soft tyre. Yeah, he's got such an advantage over the rest of the field.
Here we have Tichy trying to unlap himself from Charlie and Toespel. He is inside Charlie through the tunnel. And oh, Toespel clipped the wall through the Nova chicane, which is giving Charlie a free position. We saw it happening right in front of us, but Tichy, well, no, not Tichy, his brother, Toespel, no wing damage, he can continue on. PA so far, but he's got Danny chasing him down for that PA. 5.1 seconds it is. Oh, Toespel is pitting. Did he pick up wing damage because of it? Their front wing ready. There is not a front wing ready, but there are fresh softs ready for Toespel. So he drops down to P9, but that will be it. He won't lose a position to Marina, who is 53.6 seconds behind Toespel.
The only thing I can think of is he's going for fastest lap.
Yeah, he's doing what we were expecting Jimmy James to do. As talking about Marina, he did exactly the same what Toespel did half a lap ago.
Yeah, these guys on the softs now are trying to push a little bit harder, and after a long race, and used to driving on cars that are heavier and on not as grippy tyres, maybe they're turning a little bit too early. It's very easy to do. You're used to driving on a car that's not as responsive, so you turn it early, and now you're on tyres that are responsive. You don't need to turn that early anymore, and it's in the wall.
Always something to get used to, especially around the track like Monaco. And look at this, Jimmy James, he is clearly listening to us. Yeah. Into the pits he goes, putting on a fresh set of softs. And if you can pit, if you can afford yourself to make an extra pit stop and come out ahead of P2 with still a big gap behind you, that shows how dominant you've been all race long.
Yeah, 8.5 seconds. Still over your nearest rival, who Roland, to be fair, he had a bit of he had to battle hard to get this second place. He had to fight really hard. Those mediums must be crying. It's 29 laps now. He pitted on lap 10 to go on those mediums. Unreal.
We're gonna give Jimmy James a little bit of screen time. He deserves it, and we're gonna see how he is gonna take fastest lap in this race. He saved up all of his ERS. You see it on his steering wheel. So he should be able to just blast it. He's also creating a little bit of a gap in front of him. He's freewheeling through this Grand Prix. Here he goes. He's making sure he's got enough of a gap in front to Charlie, who is just in front of him. And this is the moment where he's just gonna blast all of his ERS to put in an amazing fastest lap. Through the casino section on towards the sector 1 split. Let's actually get the time. Where can I? Lap data. Yes, there we go. Through Lowe's hairpin, which is not called officially Lowe's hairpin anymore, but I like to call it like that. So sorry if people get triggered by it.
I'm offended.
Yeah. Through the tunnel on towards the Novo chicane, or how Lewis wants to call it, the bus stop. We don't care anymore.
It's the new Vel. It's definitely new.
We're already being prepared for Belgium next week, mate. No worries.
Yeah.
Through the Tabak, purple sector 2. We saw it coming from a mile away. Through the swimming pool section on towards Raskas. Last corner to negotiate before entering his last lap. And this is how you drive around Monaco during the race. He puts in a 110.6, and that is 27 or 26 points for Jimmy James at the end of this race. If he can keep it clean for one more lap and no one else takes his fastest lap away.
And to compare that, Roland just did a 1 minute 14.4, which is 2 seconds slower than his personal best.
Yeah. Oh, but Jimmy James goes again. He's doing what Ricciardo did in real life around Monza, putting in the fastest lap on the last lap. I think Jimmy James is going to do exactly the same.
Dan did a 1 minute 15.6 on that lap. Mostly at 3 seconds. Yeah, so Jamie James 4 seconds quicker. Absolutely killing it as he's coming towards the last few corners now.
Purple through sector 2 as well, as we go on board with him for the last 2 corners, and he negotiated 39 Mazda last lap retirement. He negotiated 39 laps around Monaco as he puts in the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. Pure domination, brilliant performance, fully deserved victory by Jamie James in the Haas around Monaco.
And here goes Roland, P2, good result for Roland. As Musa leaves the end, and here comes Dan. He's got 3 seconds at the end, but that won't matter because Shane has plenty already. One more corner to go for a very happy P3, I'm sure, for Daniel.
He will be very happy with this one. P3 for Dan, really well driven as well.
I can hear the cheers all the way over from Yorkshire.
And that's a very long way, I can tell you that one.
It is, yeah. It's closer to you than it is for me.
That says enough.
Yeah.
We are waiting for Marina now to come across the line. Oh, we're waiting for Blades. Yep, and there we have it, as he's negotiating an Alpine who's been in the way. Jamie James didn't even pick up a warning. This is one of the best victories I think I've seen, especially in Tier 3, but maybe even in COS history. This is the perfect race. Pole position, fastest lap, victory, no warnings, no penalties, no damage, leading every single lap. He couldn't have done anything more.
It was an awesome race from him. Especially in the past where he's made errors, at a track where you can't afford to make any errors. He just demolished it.
So here we have the final standings for this Monaco Grand Prix. We've got Jamie James taking a very dominant victory. Profolis in P2, then putting himself up into P3, coming from P12 on the grid. Stumpy coming from P15, Shane coming from P16. Electric Blade, really well done as well to stay on the position he started, only lost 1 place. Charlie gained a lot of position as well, coming from P14. Denny P8, Tuspel P9, and Marina taking the final point. TG P11, Mazza P12, who retired unfortunately for him on the last lap. Blaze P13, Bama P14, Hasmania P15, K-Mark P16, Saige P17, Max P18, and Nils Park P19. Let's see, we're gonna invite Jimmy James, Roland, and then to the commentary box. And hopefully I'm allowed to leave the result page and actually put on the Haas. That should be nice. But I don't think it is allowing me to
No,
leave this
neither
screen.
me.
Nice. I love this game. It disqualified
Absolutely.
me. Little side note, I just want to put this out there for anyone who's interesting. If you don't mute me or something. I got disqualified last week at Austria for trying to unlap myself. That, yeah.
You were just cheating, mate. Come on.
Roland, I don't want to talk.
Hello.
It's not your turn yet. I've not given you permission to talk.
Zip.
Here we go again. Roland is dripping. Well, you can't be sweating, mate. You had nothing to do all race.
Mate, I seriously, I fucked up one of the turns. I was behind, I think Bama still, and then out of I was behind K-Mark, and then out of a sudden the whole grip was gone, and I was just able to manage it to just kiss the wall, but I had
we
I had
appreciated the Gymkhana attempt.
Oh man, but I had rear wing damage the whole race from that moment on. It was hard to drive, but really nice. Still nice.
There we have Jimmy James.
Hello. Goat.
As we're waiting for Dan, speaking about the devil, there he is.
What up?
Yo.
We're gonna start with Dan as he finished P3 in this race. First of all, mate, congratulations on taking.
It's a proper podium this time.
Yes. The first question was, how are you feeling? But I can already tell you're really happy with this one.
It's a proper. Do you know? I came into the pits when we stopped and came out. I was talking to Neil. I said, Neil, I'm in P3. How the has that happened? What's going? I had no clue. I thought, I'll come out like P8 or something. I was just cruising along, you know. Come out in third.
Yeah, because was it the plan all the way through to pit very late in this race and go on to the softs, or was it just because everyone else were making a lot more pit stops than usual that you were thinking like, I'm just gonna go on as long as possible?
I'll be honest with you, Thomas. I was so slow. The tyres were staying with me. It was originally the plan was to stop for hards at about lap 18, and then I got to lap 12 and realised that I was only on maybe 15% wear, and Jeff said to go long, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. But yeah, that's why. I'll tell you how bad it was. I was struggling to keep the rear tyres in the temperature window, like they were actually getting cold.
Yeah, that's.
They were getting cold?
Yeah.
I
didn't know the. You didn't find the throttle or what?
Well, obviously not. I mean, that's the point.
Bro, he only finished 23 seconds behind you, so.
Yeah, he did great. Really, really, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's not talk about the gap here, Thomas. That's like,
yeah.
You know,
I
don't want it to be like a pity third,
I'm
you
gonna
know.
talk about the gap when we go to Jimmy James.
Fair enough.
Um, yeah, I don't really have much to ask because you had quite a, well, I should say, not boring race, but quite a relaxed
Oh, it
race.
was. It was boring as hell.
Not a lot of battles.
Well, it would have been boring to watch for me. It was. I was in like it was proper intense.
Trying
I'm
to
thinking,
keep it
oh,
on
I've got
track.
I've
not
got to
picking
try and
up,
help Neil out here. I've got to back them all up, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I just end up in no man's land.
Oh, you did a really
And
good
third.
job, mate. Yeah, third place. Go enjoy it, mate. Really deserved.
A steady drive, mate.
I'm breaking
So
out the
that's what it is.
body.
Steady drive.
Hey!
Going on to P2, Roland. Yeah, we saw you having some interesting moments
Oh yeah.
during the race, but at the end, well, a good part of the end of the race, you were in P2. You saw Jamie James pitting. Probably not got any hopes of taking the victory, was it?
No. I mean, in the first lap, we did a practice session before, and I was like, okay, well, I have a kind of a gap to Jemmy. And then I was like, what the fuck? Who's playing for him now during this qualifying? But it was himself, so yeah, no, really well done. And he had a really nice pace, and yeah, just the first lap, I misjudged Bama on my right hand side and got a little bit pushed into the wall, had a little bit damage on the wing, and from that moment on I felt it already that it was quite hard to keep up, but I managed to stay within the, well, let's say window. And then yeah, I had some interesting moments later on as well, coming onto the pit straight. Yeah.
Yeah, how hard was it
Just
to negotiate the rear wing damage? Was it tough or was it doable?
well, initially, especially the corner where you start the DRS, that one you don't have any grip on the rear tires, so you really have to push the throttle really slowly or just, well, upshift faster. Well, that's about 2 laps, then you're used to that one. But then later in the race, because my tires are quite worn as well, of course, with I think 29 laps I think I did on the mediums. In the end, it was quite difficult to have that well, that pull section to go flat out through that one, because then the rear part was always, yeah, well, shaking a little bit, and then under braking, well, trying to control it again, and then everything is fine. But yeah, it was not easy. So, but still nice, still good enough to carry on, of course.
Yeah, very well done, mate. To keep it on track, especially around here, isn't an easy job. And you didn't pick up a penalty as well, so fair play to that one. Congratulations on the P2, enjoy it.
Thank you very much. Congrats, Jamie.
Thank you, pal. Thank you.
I'm gonna do this introduction for the very first time. We're gonna go to our race winner, who took pole position, the fastest lap, led every single lap, didn't pick up a warning, didn't pick up a penalty, and just drove maybe the most perfect race in COS. Can I say that? I can, why not? Jamie James, really well done, mate, taking the victory in this race. How boring was it? Ronan, I swear I'm gonna mute you.
I will mute myself.
No, but James, how hard was it to stay concentrated during this race? Because you literally had nothing to do all race.
It was a tough one. Well, I know it didn't look tough, probably from the stream, but yeah, qualifying was a surprise because, like Roland said, we did a practice quali just before we joined the lobby, and he was actually quicker than me by a tenth. But we just did a second practice with me, I think Marina and Hasmania, and I changed a little bit of the setup, and it felt like a dream. It just planted everywhere, and it gave me so much more confidence when I did the race. So, but yeah, no, it was needed a lot of concentration. I just didn't want to pick up penalties, no damage, and I didn't want to be undercutted. So I just made sure I pitted last, basically. Off the softs onto the mediums, but no, I've definitely got a sweat on, but I enjoyed that one. I emulated a bit of a Sebastian Vettel from 2013, so I'm happy with that a little bit.
Yeah, you drove a really perfect race. I don't have any questions to ask because there hasn't really been much going on for you
Nothing to do.
this race. But I can imagine you're pretty happy with this result, and if you feel free so. As I can finally get the Haas up on screen, you love to see it. This game has turned up. If you don't mind, pass me on your setup because I can use it for first day.
I will send it to you.
You love to see it. Yeah, that rounds off the interviews for today. Congratulations once again on everyone who finished on the podium, and also a shout out to Shane who drove a really good race. He started P16 and finished P4. Really well done to him as well. And thank you, Lewis, for joining the commentary with me. It was a pleasure as always.
Yeah, pleasure, and so happy to see Daniel, little Daniel, on the podium. It's been a while. Yeah, and
All right, don't need to rub it in. You're older than me.
It's been 2 years,
congratulations to Tammy
3 days.
Thank you.
That's all right. Yeah, no worries. And yeah, great. It was a crazy race, and look forward to more next week as always.
100%.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the replay. I want to see what happened behind me.
Well, we got your fastest lap, both of them actually, so that's your screen time for
Oh,
today.
thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank
That's what we're here for. We were already prepared for Belgium this week, so you can imagine how prepared we are next week. So make sure you tune in for that one. If you don't want to miss anything from Console Speed, make sure you follow us on Twitch, and to keep up to date on everything what's going on, follow us on Twitter as well. For now, I will say goodbye, and as I always say, have a good one. Stay safe and goodbye.